A very good morning to all our live viewers. We are back with the biggest match of the tournament. It's the Platinum Cup final. Pink Panthers taking on Shreepa Rockers, two of the best teams going head to head against each other in the Platinum final. Coin toss fell in favor of Pink Panthers. They have opted to bat first. Anirudh MS and Pranav are the two openers, whereas Channa Rao with the ball for Shreepa Rockers starts off with a good delivery, played with the very soft hands. First runs coming at the very first ball. Anirudh MS getting off the mark with a single. Down to third man. Channa Rao, right arm pacer. 413 matches for Channa Rao. 358 wickets. Economy 6.72. Best figures of 6 for 17 for Channa Rao. Marking your guard is Pranav S. 159 matches for Pranav. 4,954 runs. Averaging just over 38. Strike rate very healthy, 143.47. Once again, punches one off the back foot. This time the ball goes to the deep gully fielder. It's only a single. Left-handers at the top for Pink Panthers. Very aggressive batting duo, these two. Coming to the career stats of Anirudh MS, 134 matches for Anirudh, 4,859 runs, averaging 43. Strike rate very healthy, more than a healthy, aggressive, I must say. 147.87. Very good combination at the top. Once again, a very similar shot, just running that ball down to gully for a single. So far, only three singles. Deep square leg and a deep gully in play for Channa Rao. This is the most anticipated match of the tournament. Everything to play for. This is the Platinum Cup final. This time drifted down the leg. White signal by the umpire. Score moves to 4. These two teams have completely dominated their opponents in the league stages, hence rightfully booked the spot in the final of Platinum Cup. Both the teams filled with stars. We are expecting it to be a very good match. Pull. There's a fielder behind who collects the ball on a bounce. That's a very sharp bumper from Channa Rao. Very well directed. Pranav doesn't get the enough elevation, just rolls his wrist over. There was fielder behind for that shot. He does well, but that ball doesn't carry to him comfortably, so it's only a single down to deep square leg. Good field set for Channa Rao. He's coming now around the wicket. Will look to angle that ball in. Anirudh plays one off the front foot down to mid off for a single. This is good batting from these two. Just rotating the singles, not allowing themselves, not allowing the bowler to ball at one batter, just taking some time at the same time, just keeping the scoreboard ticking. 6 without any loss in the very first over. Last ball of the over, Channa Rao to Pranav. There's a change up. There's that change of pace, but it went wrong. It was a low full toss. Pranav not going after that one. Happy to just rotate the strike. Nudges one away on the onside. 6 singles and a wide coming off the very first over. A steady start for Pink Panthers. 7 without any loss after 1. Suresh Babbi will share the new ball alongside Channa Rao. He's got a very slingy action. Suresh Babbi is a left arm pacer. 273 matches for Suresh. 343 wickets. Economy just over 7. 7.16. Best figures of 7 for 17 for Suresh Babbi. He's got a very low arm slingy action. Will get the ball to skid through the surface, sweep a cover and long off. In play for Suresh. Full three fielders in the inner circle on the offside. A very packed offside field. Well, a very big swing from Pranav. He was looking to deposit that one over mid on, but misses the ball completely. That ball was not an half volley by any means. Pranav, he's got a good reach. Well, this time looking to cut that one. Length immediately dragged back by Suresh Babi. Was slightly fuller on the previous occasion, but this time he hits that 6 meter mark and gets the ball to skid through. As I said, he won't get much bounce out of the surface. He's got a very slingy action. Ball will keep low and skids through when he's bowling. That's his success mantra. Suresh, this time Pranav drives nicely wide of long off fielder, but no chance of second. Good fielding effort there. In the deep, gets the ball back in time and keeps the batter to 1. Score moves to 8. Well, Katarama Rao having a word here. Just looking to charge his men up. This is the final step in this tournament. These two have displayed good cricket throughout. Well, there's an inside half of the bat. They'll take a single down to short mid wicket fielder. This is good running between the wicket between these two. All the fielders in the inner circle are right at the edge, so singles are on offer, and these two are quick runners between the wickets. So they'll take that quick singles. No attacking strokes so far from Pink Panthers. They usually likes to bat aggressive in the power play. I'll cut away. Channa Rao in the point. Got a hand to it, but doesn't pick it up cleanly. Sweeper cover does the rest. With that single, score moves to double figure for Pink Panthers. They've moved to 10 in 1.5 overs. A very steady start, I must say. These two openers can quickly shift their gears. Last ball of the over. Well, that's an absolute peach from Suresh Babi, hitting the length and then getting the movement out of that surface. That ball moved very late, moved sharply away from the left-hander. Completely surprised Anirudh MS. That ball was too good to take any sort of outside edge. A super over from Suresh Babi. Only 3 coming off that one. After 2 overs, Pink Panthers 10 without any loss. Channara will continue. These two very different bowlers. Channarao makes full use of his height, likes to get that extra bounce out of surface. Well, that's a delivery and a half that's been given wide by the square leg umpire. Yes, rightfully, that ball went over the head of the batter. Rightfully, that's been given as a wide and a one for the over as well. So the bouncer is now gone for Channarao. He doesn't have that option up his sleeve. But that was a very good delivery, I must say. A sharp bumper. Just goes over the head. That's an hard length in the air, but lands in a no man area. Well, hitting the bat high there. Channarao very quick through the surface. Pranav on the pull, getting that one high on the bat. Ball hitting the maker sticker on the bat. It was in the air for a very short while, but wide of that mid wicket fielder. It's a single for Pranav. Change of guard. He's coming around the wicket for Anirudh MS. Well, he's operating differently for these two different batters, both left-handers. Well, there's a shot. There's a slow one there from Channa Rao. An off cutter. Anirudh just happy to defend it, and they went for a quick single and they'll get it. Not going hard at the bowling at the moment. These two have just happy to rotate the strike. 13 without any loss. Another off cutter. Well, Pranav was early into the shot, but still, these days, these bats are very strong. Still goes for a boundary. Well, he was completely deceived by the change of pace, but still goes through with the shot and gets the desired result. Well, he is awarded for playing with presenting a straight bat. He is awarded for presenting a straight bat. Gets it straight over the head of bowler for a boundary. First boundary of the match. Once again driven, but this time straight to the cover. Came out of the toe. This time, Channara goes very full and outside off stump. Now again changing his angle. Now coming around the wicket for Pranav. That short ball is every time around the corner when Channara is bowling. Well, that's a super shot from Pranav. Well, class written all over that. That was a good delivery from Channa Rao. It's just the class of the batter, just punching it straight back past the bowler. No chance for mid on or mid off to cut that one off. That one raised very quickly off the surface. Timing written all over that. Pranav, he is a class act. Left-handers are always elegant to watch. Pranav moves to 14 of just 11 deliveries with the help of couple of boundaries. Last ball of the over. Once again driven on the up, but this time played softly, so he'll get a single. An expensive over from Channa Rao. 12 runs coming off that one after 3 overs. Pink Panthers 22 without any loss. Both the batters playing very cautiously, not just swinging wildly. They're just looking to rotate strike on regular basis. At the moment, they are playing a waiting game. They're waiting the bowlers to come at their area to make any mistake so that they can take full advantage of that. Suresh Babi will continue 1 over 3 for none for Suresh Babi. Coming with, well, he strikes at the very first ball of the second over. Pranav is the man dismissed. Once again looking for the glory shot. Inside edge, back onto the stumps. Well, Shreepa Rockerz draw first blood. A big wicket falls. Pranav dismissed for just 15. Pink Panthers 22 for the loss of 1 after 3.1. Well, as we speak, Suresh Babi won't get any bounce. He's got a very slingy action. Will get the ball to skid through the surface on that occasion. Bottom half of the bat, inside bottom edge, I must say, and onto the stumps. Pranav is a tall batter. He needs to get very low. He fails to get so, and ball after taking an inside edge goes straight back and hits the timber behind. Furniture has been disturbed on that occasion. So first one down for Pink Panthers in the very fourth over. Suresh Babi with the wicket. He strikes for the first time. New batter in is Ritvik S. In at number 3. So a right-hander replacing left-hander. 86 matches for Ritvik. 3,461 runs. Averaging just under 45. 44.95. Strike rate very aggressive. 156.61. A very good batter in at number 3 for Pink Panthers. Suresh will continue to bowl around the wicket for right-hander as well. Well, that's a very full delivery outside of stump. This time Ritvik gets underneath that one and beautifully square drives that one over the point fielder for a boundary. No better way to announce yourself on the batting crease than just hitting a boundary at the very first ball you face. Suresh Bapi just looking to angle that ball in for the right hander, ends up bowling a half volley. And these are two good batters. This is the batting of highest order. Margin of error very minimal. Chance of a run out. Bharat Gabbar with the throw. If he would have hit the target, that would have been curtains for Anirudh MS at the non-striker ends. Bharat Gabbar usually very accurate with his throw, but misses his target by an inch on that occasion. Anirudh MS survives. Well, there was never a run there. Anirudh MS wanted that. He was sent back. He was halfway through. He was clearly struggling there. Fortunate for him that he's still out. This time clipped beautifully. Will it go the distance? Yes, it does. What a shot that was. This time a line too straight from Suresh Babi and Ritvik clips it beautifully, gets it way back in the mid wicket for a six. That's effortlessly done. No power hitting in that from Ritvik. It's just the class. Timing written all over that. First maximum for Pink Panthers coming in the fourth over. Now there's a change in field. Long on is inside the circle. Well, that's in the air. Will that be taken? Yes, it is. Jayasuriya there at the inner circle, who makes no mistake. He's one of the safest fielders. Well, one shot too many for Ritvik. That brings his downfall. He came down the track and the bowler saw him coming, dragged his length back. Length was never there on that occasion. Still Ritvik forcing the issue, looking to go up and over. Ends up in the hands of Jayasuriya. Second one bites the dust in the very over. Suresh Babi gets the last laugh against Ritvik. Two down in a blink of an eye. Pink Panther 32 for 2 in 3.5. New batter in is Vela. In at number 4 for one champion. In fact, for Pink Panthers. Plays it straight, but good effort by Suresh Babi in his follow through close out the over. A successful over from Suresh Babi. He gets two in that one. 10 runs and couple of wickets to close out the over. 32 for the loss of 2 after 4. Pink Panthers. Looks like Channa Rao will continue for his third. Yes, he will continue for his third over. A long spell for Channa Rao. 32 for 2. Current run rate 8 runs per over. Projected score says 160. But Pink Panthers will eye something over 160. Eh, Anything around 180, 170 plus will be a very competitive total, I must say. Huge roar by Venkatarama Rao right before starting the fifth over. Channarao to continue will be bowling at Anirudh MS. Well, that's been beautifully cut away, but there's a fielder behind, so it will only be a single. Strike will be back with Vela, who's yet to get off the mark. 46 matches for Vela, 1,213 runs, averaging 33.69. Strike rate just under 145, 144.92. He's got the strike rate, career strike rate, very healthy for Vela. He's more than capable to bat aggressively. Well, still power plays on. This is the fifth over. These are final 2 overs of the power play. Both the teams looking to get their nose ahead in the power play. Well, that's a beauty from Channa Rao. Almost get rid of Vela. Well, he should be mighty pleased that he's still out in the center. Vela there on a length very close to that off stump. A centimeter, a millimeter away from that stump. Vela just looking to swing across the line. He's new to the crease. He should have a look at couple of deliveries before going over the infield. In fact, he can go straight down the ground as well. That's a much better option. Once again, looks to go over the infield on the onside, but this time the length was not there. Channarao will hit the bat hard. Bowling into the surface is his go-to stock delivery. Channarao, he'll occasionally go full, and he's got a very sharp bumper and a very deceptive slower one as well. So plenty of variations up his sleeve. Channarao. Well, this time it's a short ball, and Vela beautifully rolls his wrist over and gets it over fine leg. Makes the full use of the pace that was on offer from Channarao and gets the first boundary for himself and gets himself off the mark in some style. Just helped the ball on its very way there. Vela, this is much better. Instead of just pressing forward to such pace, it's better you stand back and use the pace. That's smartly done. He got into a very good position and no intentions of keeping that one down. Gets it over the infield for a boundary. Venkataramarao there in the fine leg, short fine region, had no chance. Well, there's the slow one there. Immediately after going for a boundary on a quicker delivery, he brings his lethal weapon, and that's the slow one. Completely outfoxing the batter on that occasion. Vela was very early into the shot. Total deception with that change of pace. Well, Channarao changes the field for the last ball. He's now got long on and deep mid wicket, both square leg and a deep gully into the circle and long on and deep mid wicket. Will it be a slow one or will it be a very full delivery or is it just a bluff? Last ball of the fifth over. Yes, it's just a bluff. He banks one into the surface. Villa does well to get on the top, plays with the very soft hand and through for a single. 6 runs coming off the fifth over. A good one from Channa Rao after 5 overs. Pink Panthers 38 for the loss of 2 wickets. At the moment, I will say Shreepa Rockers are ahead in this power play. They've picked 2 wickets and only given 38 runs in 5 overs. They haven't allowed the batters to score too much freely. At the same time, Pink Panthers, they haven't chewed up the deliveries. They have managed to rotate the strike on regular basis, but not enough boundaries in the power play so far. This will be the final over of the power play. Suresh Bobby to continue. He'll be bowling his third, so long spells for both the open bowlers. Well, stand and deliver on a length, and Suresh Bobby go. In fact, Vela goes over mid wicket, and that's a very handsome looking shot. Hardly seeing, hardly. He was hardly hitting that ball. It's just timing on that occasion to get a distance that far is a very big thing. Vela, he is a very good batter. Shot, cut away, but straight to the point fielder. That's a dot ball. Vela just looking to get it in between point and cover point, but this time doesn't find the gap. More fielders on the onside. He's got long on, mid wicket, deep mid wicket, short mid wicket, fine leg, and square leg as well. So all in all, five members on the onside. There is a slow one. Vela early into the shot, gets it out of the bottom, doesn't carry to the deep fielder. So it's a single. 45 for the loss of 2 in 5.3. How much more can Pink Panthers add in the tally, in the power play? This is the biggest match of the tournament. It's the Platinum Cup final. Well, on the length, on the pads, just punched away off the back foot for a single. Anirudh MS, he's been quiet so far. 7 of 8 deliveries. He's happy to rotate the strike. Well, he's got his eye in. Not really batting aggressively in the power play. Normally bats very aggressively in the power play. Likes to keep the strike, but in the Platinum final, he's completely changed his approach. Well, that's driven handsomely. Jaisurya cuts it off. What an effort that was. In mid off, that ball was going one way. It was four once in the outfield, but Jaisurya covers good ground and gets low in time and stops that ball. Definitely saves 3 runs for his team. 9 runs of the over so far. Last ball of the power play. 47 for the loss of 2. Suresh Babi will be bowling at Anirudh MS. Sweeper cover and long off are the two fielders out on the boundary. Last ball of the power play. Very full delivery, driven straight, but a better effort from Suresh Babi in his follow through. That's a dot ball to close out the power play. 9 runs coming off the sixth over. 47 for the loss of 2 is where Pink Panther is after the power play. Well, the field restrictions will be uplifted. Now fielding team can have more fielders on the boundary. They can have 6 fielders on the boundary now. Once the power play is done, straight away spin into the attack after the power play. Venkatarama Rao, a very experienced, very seasonal campaigner, the captain of Shreepa Rocker, gets himself into the attack. 436 matches for Venkatarama Rao, 513 wickets, economy 8.2, best figures of 6 for 17 for Venkatarama Rao. He is a very wily customer, not afraid of tossing it up. It will be a very interesting things to watch out. How will he operate now? Because these are not one of the longest boundaries on the onside. Boundaries have been shortened up in this contest as it rained a lot in the night time. Last night it rained a lot, so the outfield was very wet. Hence, the boundaries have been shortened up in order to avoid the injuries. So, not really big boundaries on the onside for Venkatarama Rao. Starts off with a wide delivery there from Venkatarama Rao. Well, um, um, the the batsman there pleading for a no ball, but umpire gets it right. Once the ball is passed through the popping crease. The no ball that will be given for pitching it outside the pitch limits will be taken off. So rightfully given wide by the umpire. Both the umpires very experienced. Back of a length to start off for Venkatarama Rao. Punched away by Vela down to deep extra cover for a single. Now a bigger boundary on the leg side for Venkatarama Rao when bowling to the left-hander. This is much better area for him to bowl. But Anirudh, he's got reverse sweep as well. Will he play that one against Venkatarama Rao? Three fielders patrolling the inner circle behind point, gully, and short third. Venkatarama Rao very slow through the air, so not enough pace to play that reverse sweep. Well, that's a poor delivery from Venkatarama Rao down the leg, and a wicket keeper fails to collect that one as well. So wide plus one, two extras for Pink Panthers. Driven all along the carpet, down to long off for a single. Score moves to 52 now. 50 is up in good time for Pink Panthers, but they have lost just two wickets. This partnership is a very important one. Anirudh MS and Vela, plenty of firepower to come, but it's up to them to study the ship. Well, a misfield by Venkata Rao in his follow through. Well, they're coming back for the second run. Well, this is excellent piece of running. They have converted a single into double there. There was never a second run there, but fielder there was just not up to the task. So the seizes on an opportunity and they have ran the second one and as well. This is good bit of field awareness from these two. Over pitched, just played on the front foot there. Anirudh, it's a single down to long on. 8 runs already of the over with the help of wides. No boundaries conceded in this over, but still has gone for 8. Venkata Ramarao. Two deliveries still remaining in this over. Spin straight away after the power play for Shreepa Rockerz. Well, an huge appeal, and Venkata Ramarao gets a very big fish slow through the air. And I thought it's an LBW, but it's a clean bowl there. That ball goes right between his legs and hits the timber behind. Well, that's a very strange way to be dismissed. Hand on the head for Vela. He's mighty disappointed. Well, that was a very slow delivery. That was on the pads. He was looking for that sweep shot, but that ball was dying on him. Just gets underneath his bat and hits the timber behind. Well, that's a very soft dismissal for Vela, but it's third one down for Pink Panthers. 55 for the loss of 3 after 6.5. Pink Panthers. New batter in is SK Rehan. In at number 5, another good batter in for Pink Panthers. 251 matches for Rehan, 10,630 runs for Rehan, averaging mind-boggling 76.45 for Rehan. Strike rate very healthy, 155.39 as well. So he is a premium batter for Pink Panther in at number 5. Well, a good ball to close out the over from Venkatarama Rao. Super over, 8 runs and a big wicket of Vela coming in that over. After 7, Pink Panthers 55 for the loss of 3. Another spinner into the attack. Now Jayasuriya with the ball. 608 match for Jayasuriya. 472 wickets. Economy just over 7, 7.10. Best figures of 6 for 12 for Jayasuriya. He is a right arm off break. He's got a very deceptive arm ball. He'll get the ball to skid through the surface. At the same time, occasionally slows down the delivery, which makes that one a very difficult to pick up. He's got a very well field spread out on the both sides of ground. Jayasuriya coming over the wicket for the left-hander starts off with a low full toss that will only be a single down to long on. Anirudh MS 11 of 12 deliveries, just looking to rotate the strike, still looking to rotate the strike. We are into the 8th over. One of these two needs to bat aggressively to keep that run rate up. Well, that's a good delivery from Jayasuriya. Beautifully played by Rehan as well to get himself off the mark. Just defense it off the front foot in the covers where the fielder was right at the edge. So single was on. He gets himself off the mark with that quick single. Well, that's drifted on the pads, clipped away, but there's a fine leg in play. It's only a single, 3 singles in this over so far. 87 for the loss of 3. Sorry, in fact, it's 58 for the loss of 3 after 7.3 overs. Pink Panthers this time played off the back foot with the very soft hands. Loknath there in the point, but still they'll get a single. Good piece of running between the wicket. These two just rotating the strike at the moment, taking the innings forward. At some chase, they need to go hard at the bowler. Well, they're waiting for their opportunities at the moment. Punched off the back of a length delivery, but straight back to the bowler in his follow through. Well, Jayasuriya has been very straight with his line in this over so far, not providing any south of it for both the batters. This time, very slow through the air. Anirudh inside half of the bat. Will they look for the second? No, they're settling in with a single. Good over from Jayasuriya. Only 5 runs coming off that one. After 8 overs, Pink Panthers are 60 for the loss of 3. Another introduction in the bowling attack. Bharat Gabbar now into the attack with his left arm orthodox. Starts off with a drag down on the pads. Well, Anirudh MS fails to find the gap. Couple of yards here and there, it would have been boundary for him. But he finds the man to perfection. 149 matches for Bharat Gabbar, 183 wickets, economy just over 7, 7.08, best figures of 6 for 24 for Bharat Gabbar. Well, this time Rehan works it on the onside. 2 is the call, but Anirudh MS says no. So they have to settle in with a single. Excellent piece of running between the wicket, between these two. These two are very smart operators. Bharat Gabbar and Jai Surya gets through their overs very quickly. Well, Anirudh MS looking to punch one off the back foot, gets an inside half. In fact, an inside edge. Gets it fine enough, beats the short fine fielder for a boundary. Venkata Rao in the fine leg was just a spectator there. That ball raced very quickly. Bharat Gabbar very quick through the air. So no chance for short third or fine leg fielder to cut that one off. That ball raced very quickly. That's a streaky boundary, but Anirudh will take it. He moves to 18 with that boundary. Pink Panther score moves to 66. Driven on the up, wide of that short cover. Long off fielder will cut that off. So it will only be a single. Two deliveries remaining in this over so far. 7 runs already. This is good from these two batters. They've got an out boundary. They need to rotate the strike on regular basis just to make this one count. Cut away, but straight to the gully fielder. They'll get a single. Venkata Rao, not one of the quickest fielder, but he does well. Cannot avoid that single. It's a, so 8 runs of the over so far. Last ball of the over coming up. Bharat Gabbar to Anirudh. Well. There was an opportunity there. Bharat Gabbar got a good piece of his hand to it, but fails to hold on. Well, that ball hitting the ankle and that ballooned away from Bharat Gabbar. It's only a single to close out the over. 9 runs coming off that one. Well, Anirudh MS gets a lifeline. So 69 for the loss of 3 after 9 overs. 69 for the loss of 3 after 9 overs. Pink Panthers. Another introduction in the bowling attack. More spin for Shreepa Rockerz. Madhuvir Reddy now with the ball. Another slow left arm orthodox bowler. 290 matches for Madhuvir. 381 wickets. Economy very good. Just over 5. 5.29. Best figures of 6 for 19 for Madhuvir Reddy. He is a genuine wicket taker. He'll bowl the final over from this end. He's coming over the wicket for the left-hander Madhuvir. Starts off with a very full delivery. Anirudh just lifts it in the long on region for a single. Just chips it, in fact. 70 is up for Pink Panthers. 70 for the loss of 3 in 9.1. Current run rate 7.64. With that, they can get to 152. This time worked away on the onside. There's a fielder behind in the deep square leg. Bharat Gabbar there. They're going for the second run. They'll get it. Well, in fact, they'll get a third run as well. Two fielders there. First the bowler, then the backup. Both failing to stop that one. Hence 3 runs for Pink Panthers. Anirudh MS will be back on strike with that 3 runs. Excellent piece of running between the wicket, between these two. They've pushed the fielder hard for that third. Well, that was driven straight to the short cover. Jai Surya there who puts it down. Usually one of the safest fielder on the field, but he puts it down. That ball travelled very quickly, straight in and out. This time square driven. There's a fielder behind in the sweeper cover region. Will they look for two? No. They'll settle in for a single this time. Good sharp throw straight into the wicket keeper's glove. 5 runs of the over so far. Right hand left hand combination out in the center for Pink Panthers, hence making difficult for the fielders. In fact, they have to run all around. This time worked away on the onside. It's a single down to long on. These two are rotating the strike on regular basis. No dot balls. In last few overs. In fact, they have played only 2 to 3 dot balls in last few overs. This is good cricket. They're keeping the scoreboard ticking. Well, that's in the air and that's taken. That's a very soft dismissal. Runner ball 22 for Anirudh MS. Well, he never looked in a touch. Never looked in a very comfortable position to play. In the end, he gets out at the very last ball from this end. Madhuvir Reddy with the wicket at the very last ball of the over. 75 for the loss of 4 at the halfway mark. Pink Panthers. There will be a change in ends and players will have drinks as well. Pink Panthers halfway through in the first inning. 75 for the loss of 4. Well, the change in end doesn't work out for Pink Panthers. It's the big wicket of SK Rehan that falls. That's a mighty, mighty blow. A very, very top notch batter dismissed by a very lethal bowler. Venkata Rao with the big wicket. Well, he's got a knack of picking up big wickets. He throws a knockout punch at the Pink Panthers by dismissing SK Rehan. He was in the form of his life. He was averaging over 100 in his last 10 encounters, now dismissed cheaply in the all important Platinum Cup final. What a wicket! What a time to get a wicket. Venkata Rao, you talk about experience, take a bow. Safe as you like. Jay Surya in the deep, who makes no mistake. Half of the team dismissed for Pink Panthers. Just 75 on the board. Venkata Rao with the big wicket. Aditya N.K., the captain of Pink Panther, in at number 7. 103 matches for Aditya N.K., 1059 runs, averaging over 21. Strike rate 111.83 for Aditya N.K. Gets off the mark with a single down to square leg. Straight away after the change of end, Venkata Rao strikes at the very first ball. Rehan looking for the big one. Holds out in the deep. Hits it flat, but hits it straight to the fielder in the deep. What a change up that has been. Venkata Rao was stopped in the previous over and he's been given go from this end and he strikes. That's a master stroke from Shreepa Rockerz. Well, was there a wicket there? No, it's been given wide by the umpire. Well, you think every ball is a wicket when Venkata is bowling. He is a character, very animated with his appeals and celebrations as well. He went straight away up. We had a thought that was it a caught behind? Sachin Rathore. Well, there's a chance of a run out at the bowler's end. Well, Gabbar there had a good try at the stump, but still fails to hit the target. Well, Gabbar usually hits the target, but he fails for the second time in this match. Well, Aditya NK will be a lucky batter to still be out. 130, 77 for 5 for Pink Panthers. They're desperately in search of a partnership. Once again, cut away. This time they go for the quick single. A very good throw, and Aditya NK is short of his ground. No hesitation in the umpire's mind before giving that one out. Well, what a clean pickup and a throw from the fielder in the cover point. Madhuvir Reddy there. In fact, it's Ritesh Reddy there in the inner circle, and Varun with the gloves on does the rest to get rid of Aditya NK. He doesn't even get to the double figure today. Aditya NK dismissed cheaply. Run a ball one for Aditya NK in this all important Platinum Cup final. Sachin Rathod on the previous occasion sent him back. That's why no real start for Aditya NK on that occasion. He was on the back foot. Then Sachin called for the single on that occasion. Aditya NK responded, but he was nowhere in the frame by the time the wicketkeeper Varun took the bails off. That's a sharp bit of fielding by Shreepa Rockerz. New batter in is Mahinder Reddy in at number 8 for Pink Panthers. He's a white ball giant. Mahinder Reddy usually likes to add finishing touches to the innings, but he's got a very different role today. 944 matches for Mahinder Reddy, 23,010 runs for him. Take a bow, averaging just under 40, 39.54 strike rate. Very aggressive, 153.64. He's in at number 8. Will face Venkata Ramarao. Two white ball giants up against each other. Venkata Ramarao against Mahinder Reddy. Mahinder Reddy drives one all along the carpet down to long off for a single to get himself off the mark. Opens his account with a single. Mahinder Reddy, very big hitter, likes to deposit the ball into the stands, but he's got a different role to play today. He's in just 11th over. Well, a paddle sweep from Sachin Rathod doesn't get it fine enough. Loknath Nayak there in the fine leg does good. So only single to close out. What an over that was from Venkata Ramarao. First over started off with the wicket of SK Rehan, then a run out. Aditya NK dismissed. So 2 wickets and 4 runs coming in that very over. Well, Pink Panther 79 for the loss of 6 in all sorts of trouble. Shreepa Rockerz on the top in this Platinum Cup final. Madhuvir Reddy will continue. 1 over 6 for 1 for Madhuvir Reddy. He's got a big fish in his previous over, dismissing Aditya NK at the very last ball of the over. That was a very soft dismissal, leading edge, and a simple catch for the cover fielder Jay Surya. So he'll be bowling the 12th over. Madhuvir Reddy, change of ends for him as well. A very good field spread out. Gully, point, short covers in the inner circle on the offside, whereas sweeper cover and long off outside the circle. Well, that's in the air, just short of that cover fielder. That ball was not full enough to drive, but Sachin Rathore pressing forward on that occasion. Fortunate that ball doesn't carry to the cover fielder. Another dot ball. This is good. This is good cricket from Shreepa Rocker. The squeeze is on. Current run rate now goes below 7 for Pink Panthers. Shot, and that's in the air, but that's in the gap as well. Well, a steep bounce, an awkward bounce on that occasion for Madhuvir Reddy. It took off. Sachin Rathod did well, but that was never in control. He was never in control of that shot. He gets away with that one. In fact, he will get a single. Now strike is with Mahinder Reddy. Works it away on the onside. Well, Mahinder Reddy not happy with the wicketkeeper there. Don't know what exactly happened there, but he's having some chat with the wicketkeeper there, Varun Vinod. Well, at the moment, scoreboard not ticking enough for Pink Panthers. Well, Sachin looking for the big shot inside edge onto the pads. It's a single in the fine leg region. Last ball of the over. Mahinder Reddy drives forward but straight to the short cover. It's a dot ball to close out the over. Only 3 runs coming off that one after 12 overs. Pink Panthers 82 for the loss of 6 wickets. Well, Shreepa Rockers, they are rotating their spinners very nicely. They're not bowling continuously. They are rotating their 4 spinners in tandem. Madhuvir Reddy, Venkata Ramarao, Bharat Gabbar, and Jai Surya. All the bowlers bowling in tandem. So this is good mix up. Just keeping the batter guessing. Very full delivery on the pads. Clipped away. There's a fielder behind in the square leg. Will they come back for second? No, they won't. Sharp work there in the deep by the fielder there, keeps the batter to one. This is not a very familiar territory for Mahinder Reddy. He likes to bat in last 4 overs. Well, that's a beautiful looking cover drive, but Jayasurya in the long off region covers the ground very quickly and definitely saves 2 runs for his team. Another couple of runs for Mahinder Reddy. That was a very good shot. Slow through the air. Once again driven on the up, but this time straight to the long off fielder. So it will only be a single this time. Bharat Gabbar, all left arm orthodox deliveries in this over so far. Well, now he's got that Chinaman delivery going in, but that's been swept well by Sachin Rathore. Better effort in the field. Venkata Ramarao with the dive in the fine leg region. Only a single. Runs coming in this over, but still in terms of singles, not a bad over so far for Pink Panthers. They'll take it. Well, that was full wide. Width was there. Mahinder Reddy. Was he thinking for the big shot? Hits it along the carpet on that occasion, straight to cover. Dot ball. Well, this time plays with the very soft hands towards the left. In fact, towards the right of point fielder. And he'll get a single. He'll retain the strike. 6 runs coming off that over after 13 overs. 88 for the loss of 6 picks. Pink Panthers. Madhuvir Reddy will continue. 2 overs, 9 for 1 for Madhuvir Reddy. He's choked the scoring rate. Breaks are on the scoring rate for Pink Panthers. This is excellent passage of play for Shreepa Rockerz. They've got the wickets in the middle overs. Well played off the back foot, looking for that quick single, a sharp throw, but Sachin Rathore is quick enough and he gets in the crease in time, makes his ground in time. On that occasion, bit of hesitation initially, but they went for the single. In the end, completes the single with ease. Score moves to 89. Well, all the bowlers getting through their overs very quickly. In the middle over, Shreepa Rockers. Well, this time the ball went straight to the point fielder. Bharat Gabbar there, very accurate in the field. They're not chancing his arm. Both these batters, they settle for naught. Once again, cut away, but straight to Bharat Gabbar at point. Well, there's no single there. As far as Bharat Gabbar is there, they need to get somewhere between those two fielders to get that single. Well, Sachin Rathore looking to go inside out over extra cover. Inside edge, ball moves to the square leg fielder for a single. Well, at the moment, Sachin Rathore is finding it difficult to keep going. 6 of 12 for him, whereas 7 of 8 deliveries for Mahinder Reddy. He's played well for his 7 runs. Mahinder Reddy, 90s up for Panthers in 13.4. No big overs in the middle stage for Pink Panthers. Well, huge appeal, but the umpire suggests there was an inside edge. Well, that looked pretty adjacent. Mahinder Reddy was standing right in front of that middle stump, but inside edge there saves him. A good decision by the match official. Last ball of the over. Short, cut away, but straight to the point. Once again, Bharat Gabbar in the point region. He's been busy in that region. Only 2 runs coming off that one. A superb over from Madhuvir Reddy. 90 for the loss of 6 after 14. Venkataramarao back into the attack. 2 overs, 12 for 2 for Venkataramarao so far into his third over. Well, Sachin Rathore there comes down the track, went for the big shot there. Wicketkeeper takes the bails off, but it was very slow through the air. By the time the ball reaches to the wicketkeeper and he takes the bails off, looks like the batter was back. That was a very close shout, but given not out on field, so no facility for the third umpire in this tournament. So we have to stay on with the match official decision. That's a dot ball. Sachin Rathore stepping out against Venkataramarao, proving out to be a wrong option on that occasion. Quickly gets back inside on that occasion. Sachin Rathore this time drives all along the carpet down to extra cover for a single. Tossed up. Mahinder Reddy goes for the big shot. Does it clear the circle? Well, it just goes over. Well, Mahinder Reddy might have had his heart in his mouth. That was a very close call. Fielder there right at the edge gave it all, but that ball was always going over. That's a six for Mahinder Reddy. Well, this is a good matchup. Venkataramarao against Mahinder Reddy. Mahinder Reddy likes to go big. At the same time, Venkataramarao not afraid of tossing it up. This time, Mahinder Reddy gets it over by an inch. What's coming next? Will Venkataramarao toss it up again? Yes, he does. Mahinder Reddy once again looking for the big shot. Once again clears the boundary by just. Well, these are not clean hitting from Mahinder Reddy, but still he'll take it. He's tossed it up again. Invited the batter for the big shot. Mahinder Reddy went for that. He's not nailed it, but it's the brute power for Mahinder Reddy. Still takes it. Back to back sixes. 100 is up for Pink Panthers in good time. 103 in 14.4. Well, what will Venkataramarao do? Will he again toss it up? No, this time a flatter trajectory. Mahinder Reddy hangs on the back foot on that occasion, just cuts it late and gets it fine enough for a boundary. This is smart play from Mahinder Reddy. Delicately done. Just hangs on the back foot. He was well aware that Venkataramarao will not toss it up for the third time in a trot. Just it was a quicker one, and Mahinder Reddy was ready last night for that ball. Cuts it fine enough to get a boundary. An expensive over from Venkataramarao. 17 runs already. Still a delivery to be bowled. Well, Mahinder Reddy quickly moves to 23 of 13. Now change of guard for Venkataramarao. He's coming around the wicket diagonal. Can Venkataramarao close this over out? That's the last ball of the over. This is the last ball of the over. Well, a very big stride for Venkataramarao. He's coming around diagonal. Tossed it up, but it's way outside off stump. Mahinder Reddy went after that one. Huge shout by the bowler, and the wicketkeeper equally supports him. But that's been given as a wide by the match official. No support whatsoever. Venkatarama Rao has to reload that one. Last ball of the over. This is good matchup. Short one from Venkatarama Rao. Pulled away. There's a fielder in the deep. Channa Rao does well. It's only a single. An expensive over. A finally good one for Pink Panther. 19 runs coming off that one. Pink Panthers 109 for the loss of 6. After 15, final 5 overs remaining in the tank for Pink Panthers. What more can they add to the tally in this all important Platinum Cup final? Madhuvi ready to bowl out. He's been very good so far. Well, that's been second wide on a trot for Madhuvi Reddy. Well, clearly under pressure against Mahinder Reddy. Mahinder Reddy, he's opened up. He's got two sixes in the previous over. Will he continue the very way against Madhuvir Reddy? Well, that ball kept low, skids through the surface. Good take by Varun Vinod behind the timber. Dot ball. 3.1 overs, 13 for 1 for Madhuvir Reddy so far into his final over. Mahinder Reddy this time defends it off the front foot. This is good matchup. Madhuvir Reddy won't ball as full as Venkatarama Rao. So what are the options for Mahinder Reddy? This time he makes room, tried to go over long off and holds out in the deep. As I said, Madhuvir Reddy won't ball as full as Venkatarama Rao, but Mahinder Reddy tries for a 6. But this time length was never there. And a simple catch to Jay Surya in the deep, who makes no mistake. That was a check shot from Mahinder Reddy. A big wicket falls at the very wrong time for Pink Panthers. Dangerous batter Mahinder Reddy dismissed. Pink Panthers in all sorts of trouble. 111 for the loss of 7. New batter in is Ashwath R. In at number 9. Well, an outside edge. No one there in the slip. So it will travel for a boundary. A streakiest way to get off the mark, but Ashwath will take it. That's a 4 to start off. 311 matches for Ashwath, 1603 runs for him. 1603 runs, averaging 16.19. Strike rate 112.89 for Ashwath, in at number 9. Well, still no slips for Ashwath. This time walked away on the onside. There's no single there. There's fielder in the short mid wicket region, so no single there for Ashwath. It's a dot ball. A super over from Madhuvir Reddy, getting a huge wicket of Mahinder Reddy in that one. Punched off the back foot, wide of that cover fielder. They could have gone for a single, but Sachin ignores that one, and he'll have a strike. That's a dot ball. So after 16 overs, Pink Panthers are 115 for the loss of 7. Well, Jayasurya now back into the attack. Madhuvir Reddy is done with his 4 overs. More spin for Shreepa Rockerz. Jayasurya back into the attack. Only 1 over for him. He's bowled that 7th over. Since then, he was off. Now he's back into the attack. 1 over, 5 for none for Jayasurya. He comes in to bowl those hard overs. So final 4 overs in the tank. No short third man for Jayasurya as well. Gully and point in play. Final 4 overs in pursue. Well, Sachin sweeps, but there's a fielder behind and he makes no mistake. Well, Sachin trying to up the ante, and it's an easy catch for Sri Vishwa in the square leg, who makes no mistake. Well, that's the final last recognized batter. That's out. Sachin Rathore departs cheaply. No big scores today for Sachin Rathore. Eighth one bites the dust for Pink Panthers for just 115 on the board. New batter in is Ritesh Kumar, in at number 10. 37 matches for Ritesh Kumar, 227 runs, averaging over 20.64. Strike rate very healthy, 163.31 for Ritesh Kumar. He can bat too. He's a very handy batter, low down the order for Pink Panther. It's not that they can't bat, they are proper tail enders. These days, everyone loves to bat, so Ritesh Kumar can bat, and he's a very capable batter. Well, what a ball that was from Jaisurya, fired in that Yorker. Ritesh Kumar does well to keep it out, but that's a dot ball. Final 4 overs remaining, 2 overs in the tank. Well, Pink Panthers now in danger of getting bowled out. Well, was there an outside edge? No, it wasn't. Just an animated appeal from Varun Vinod behind the timber. What an over this has been from Jaisurya. Wicket and 3 dots so far. Well, pulled away. There's a fielder behind, but it will beat that fielder towards his right. That's a boundary, much needed one. Ritesh gets off the mark with a boundary. Slightly length back on that occasion from Jaisurya, and Ritesh Kumar pulls it hard along the carpet, beats the mid wicket fielder towards his right. That fielder was well inside the circle on that ball, and Ritesh Kumar makes full use of that one. Still a good over from Jayasurya, only 4 runs of it. Last ball of the over. Tossed up delivery. Well, it's coming towards us and it hits the side screen. What a shot to close out the over. First a boundary, now a massive six. Well, he's got some power. Ritesh Kumar, he gets 10 of that over. Well, took couple of deliveries to get himself in. Now he's unleashing. First a boundary, now a six on the side screen. That's the second massive six of the over. In fact, the second boundary of the over. First a boundary, four, now a six. 10 runs and a wicket in that over. After 17 overs, Pink Panthers 125 for the loss of 8. Well, that's in the air. Well, Ashwath looking for the slog sweep gets a leading edge and a very easy catch for Bharat Gabbar in his follow through. He gets a wicket. Well, that was a Chinaman delivery, very full, and you should have been playing with a straight bat, Ashwatar. You made a big error, and you have to cost your wicket with that. Ninth one bites the dust. Ashwatar, the man dismissed. Well, Pink Panther now in a big danger of getting bundled out. 125 for 9 in just 17.2. Sirish is the last batter standing in for Pink Panthers in at number 11. He is a left-hand bat. 134 matches for Sirish. 709 runs, averaging 13.38. Strike rate just over 90. That's in the air, but will not carry to the deep fielder. Well, that shot never looked controlled one, but Sirish will get off the mark with that single. Now it's up to Ritesh Kumar to get those runs for Pink Panthers. Well, was there an outside edge? Yes, it's been given. Bharat Gabbar gets the wicket. Well, that's an excellent take by Varun Varnavut. And Pink Panthers have bundled out inside their 20 overs in this all important Platinum Cup final of One Champion Elite Season 43. One. Well, 126 is what One Champion managed in their first inning. 127 will be the target for Shreepa Rockers when they come out to chase. Do catchers with the chase on the other side. We'll be right back after a very short innings break. Welcome back to the chase. Loknath Nayak and Ritish Reddy out in the center for Shreepa Rockers, whereas Ritish Kumar with the ball in hand for Pink Panthers. Shreepa Rockers chasing 127 in this all important Platinum Cup final of One Champion Elite season 43. Straight away looking for the big shot. Loknath Nayak gets beaten. Ritesh Kumar starts off with a hard length. 37 matches for Ritesh. 37 wickets. Economy under 7. 6.96. Best figures of 5 for 17. Coming to the career stats of Loknath Nayak. 739 matches for him. 32,058 runs. Averaging just under 53. 52.99. Strike rate just under 200. 199.55 for Loknath Nayak. He is a very aggressive batter. Likes to get away with the boundaries. On the non-striker end is G. Ritish Reddy. He is a left-hand bat. 208 matches for Ritish Reddy. 7,665 runs, averaging under 50. 49.13. Strike rate 109.02 for Ritish Reddy. Well, this time Loknath Nayak gets a good piece of that ball and it's a boundary. That ball raced very quickly. A very powerful batter at the top for Shreepa Rockers. Well, he means business today. He swinged couple of time and missed, but this time he gets a good piece. Slightly overpitched from Ritesh Kumar, and it's enough for Loki to get it up and over the infield. There's a fielder behind in the deep back foot point, but that went over cover point for a boundary. Deep back foot point and a deep square leg outside the boundary, out, right on the edge for Ritesh. Low full toss, and that's been crashed down the ground. An attempted Yorker gone wrong, and Loknath Nayak makes him pay. Hits it straight down the ground. In fact, drills it. No chance for mid-on fielder to cut that one off. That was a bluff from Ritesh Kumar. He went full, attempted Yorker, and Loknath Nayak is not gonna miss out. He's batting with some intent here. He's going after every delivery. Once again, full. Loknath doesn't get it out of the middle, but still it's a boundary. He clears the infield with ease. Couple of bounces before going to his boundary skirting. Hat trick of boundaries to start off the proceedings. 4, 4, and a 4 for Loknath Naik in the very first over. Well. Ritesh Kumar, he's taking hammering in the very first over. Well, Loknath Nayak here, he's come all guns blazing. This is the intent which lacked in the batting order of Pink Panthers. They should have batted this way in the power play, but they opted to go with a very safe way. In the end, doesn't have enough runs on the board. Well, once again hits it hard, but this time came off the bottom end. Good feeling there in the inner circle. It's a dot ball to close out the over. Still a good one for Shreepa Rockers. 12 coming off the very first over. Shreepa Rockers off to a flyer. 12 without any loss after one. Series to share the new ball and he's been greeted with a boundary. Ritish Kumar gets off the mark with a boundary. No better way to announce yourself. This time punched off the back foot. They'll get a single. Gully fielder was right at the edge, so single was on offered. Both the batters crossing through with ease. Score raised away to 17 in just 1.2 overs. Now less than run a ball. Equation for Shreepa Rockerz as they need 110 in 1-2L deliveries. Well, Pink Panthers will hunt for wickets. They need wickets. Wicket is the only thing that can get them back in this match. Well, that's a length delivery. Noknath just plays it off the back foot with the soft hands and through for a single. This time the batter comes down the track, gets to the pitch of the ball. Well, did it carry all the way? Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's a one bounce four. What a shot that was from Ritish Reddy. Series just trying to hit the deck hard on that occasion. Just hitting his mark, but Ritish Reddy second guessed the baller there, came down the track, got to the pitch of the ball. Width was there. So he flashes at that one and goes over cover point for a boundary. Well, there's a change in field now. They have a sweeper cover behind, and the gully fielder is inside. So deep mid wicket and sweeper cover out on the boundary for Sirish. Punched off the back foot and in the gap. Fielder after that one. Will he cut that one off? Yes, he does. That's a valiant effort by the fielder there. That ball was traveling very quickly. That's superb time shot from Ritish Reddy. Stood tall, got on the top of the bounce and punched it in front. Gets it right in between covers and mid off. 12 runs already in this over. Still a delivery to be delivered. Last ball of the over. 24 on the board for Shreepa Rockers. This time very wide outside off stump. That's been given wide by the umpire. Score moves to 25. Sirish clearly under some pressure here. He's gone for 13 in this over. So batters clearly going after a young bowler here. They went after the bowler in the very first over as well. Now they are going after the second bowler as well. Clearly trying to put pressure on the bowling team. Hit up, hit on the up, but that will be cut off by mid off fielder. So it's a dot ball to close out. 13 runs coming off that one. Another good over for Shreepa Rockers. 25 without any loss after two. They are off to a flyer. Shreepa Rockers. Well, another introduction in the bowling attack. Pranav now with the ball. Straight away, change of tactics for Pink Panthers. Now they've got in the spinner. He is a right arm pacer. Pranav, in fact, is not a spinner. He's a right arm pacer. 159 matches for Pranav. 54 wickets. Economy 6.85. Best figures of 5 for 37 for Pranav. He is a very tall bowler. Will get that extra bounce from surface when hitting the deck hard. He just needs to hit that 6 meter mark on regular basis just to trouble the batter. So sweeper cover and A mid wicket out on the boundary for Pranav. That's a good length delivery to start off. Loknath just playing it from there itself, just having a look at the bowler. Pranav is not express but heavily relies on his liner length. Back of a length that's been crashed. Well, it was not away from that sweeper cover fielder. It was just couple of steps towards his right, but he cannot cut that one off. That shows the power of this man. That's brute power on display from Loknath Nayak. That ball raced like a tracer bullet all along the surface. Well, hitting it on the rise, hitting it on the floor very hard. That ball moved very quickly off the surface. No chance for any fielder. That's a boundary of the highest order for Loknath Nayak. This time defends it off the back foot. So no single there. Well, Loknath Nayak, he likes the width. Whenever width is being presented, he'll flash hard at that one. So bowling stump to stump is a right option against Loki. Well, this time he doesn't get it out of middle, but still good enough for a boundary. Well, making full use of the field restrictions. That ball was not an half volley by any means, but Loknath Nayak still plays it on the rise. That shows that he's got good timing. He's got confidence on his shots. Lifts it over extra cover for a boundary. Nothing much that any fielder could have done. Nothing wrong with the bowling as well. Pranav, he's hit the deck hard, but still goes for a boundary. That's it's just the aggressive approach of the batters this day. 33 is up for Shreepa Rockers in just 2.4. This time Loknath Nayak goes all the way. That's a massive hit. Slightly fuller in terms of length, but still not an half volley. But Loknath Nayak, fast hands, gets it away for a massive six. What a shot that was. That's easily an 80-meter hit from Loknath Nayak into the covers. That's one of the hardest shots to execute, but he does that one to the perfection. 4, 4, now a 6. Well, Loknath Nayak is taking likings to Pranav. 39 already on the board for Shreepa Rockers. Once again, shot. Loknath stands tall, but this time will not find the fence. Sweeper cover will cut that off, but it's a single to close out the over. Another good one for Shreepa Rockers. 15 of that one. After 3, 40 without any loss. Rockers, they have rocked their opponent hard in these first 3 overs. Series to continue. Captain showing faith on his bowlers and giving him another go. He went for 13 in his first over. Now long on and deep mid wicket in play for Sirish. Starts off with a good delivery. Back of a length on the stumps. Loknath looking to play late, looking to cut that one, but he gets beaten. That ball was too close to be cut away. Loknath flirting with danger. That ball was very close to outside edge and goes over the stump as well. 28 of just 14 deliveries for Loknath, strike rate of 200. This time he comes down the track. Series banged it halfway, but still crashes one into the covers of the front foot. Well, this is the batting of highest order. Well, no holding back. Loknath Nayak, room was there on that occasion. Length was right. It's just the line. He should have been bowling more stump to stump line against Loknath with this kind of field set, long on and deep mid wicket. If he presents any width, Loknath will make you pay. On that occasion, Series just missing his line, hence gets penalized. This time a better length, a better line from Sirish, bowling onto the body. Loknath just happy to play it all along the carpet. It's a single down to long on. Idea was right to cramp Loknath for room, but execution wasn't there on the previous delivery. Hence boundary conceded, but he comes back and executes his plan nicely on the next delivery. So it's only a single, scores move to 45. Loknath Nayak 33 of just 16 deliveries. Strike rate in excess of 200 for Loknath Nayak in this innings. He's batting with some intention in this match. Well, on the other hand, Ritesh Reddy, he's played aggressively as well. 11 of 5 deliveries, he's got a strike rate up as well. Over 200, the strike rate for both these batters. They're looking to score runs in the power play. Well, this time Ritesh tries to stand tall and hit it over mid off. Just gets it over that fielder. That was not the right option from Ritesh Reddy. Instead, he should have been looking to score square when banged halfway down. Ritesh Sirish is not one of the slow bowler to whom you can hit down the ground. Reddy just gets away with that one. He'll fetch a single as well. Now strike is back with Loknath. Shot this time doesn't climb enough. Loknath hits it hard but doesn't beat the fielder in the long on. Ritvik there does well while moving towards his left. Definitely saves 3 runs for his team. That ball was traveling. Only 7 runs so far of the over. Good little comeback from Sirish, but they desperately need wicket. Shreepa Rockers only need 80 of 97. They can do it. In singles, they can afford to play dot balls, but on the other hand, Pink Panthers need dot balls and wickets. Punched away off the back foot. It's a single wide of long on. 8 overs coming off that one. After 4 overs, 48 without any loss. Shreepa Rockers. Change in the bowling attack. Aditya NK, the captain, now he brings himself into the attack. I feel it's a right change, but you never know. Right arm off break spin in the power play can backfire as well when these batters are going hard. But Aditya NK, he's a very experienced and a very seasonal campaigner, knows how to operate in the power play. He's got mid wicket and a long off in play, coming over the wicket for the left hander. Starts off with a full delivery. Well, there's a chance of a run out, but Loknath Nayak, he's quick enough to make his ground, just makes it ground in time. Well, that was a very sharp single. 103 matches for Aditya NK, 129 wickets, economy 7.79, best figures of 5 for 19 for Aditya NK. Well, this is a good matchup. Aditya NK against Loknath Naik. He's got deep mid wicket and a very straight long on. So the line will be very straight. Will Loknath Naik go hard at Aditya NK? Well, he's gone hard at every bowler up until now. But this is the spin. First time in play. Loknath gets down the track and gets it through the infield on the offside. Well, he's changed his tactic, but the result remains the same. Well, instead of going aerial, he hits it all along the carpet delicately, gets to the pitch of the ball, and just opens the face at the very last moment and gets it right in between cover and mid off for a boundary. 50 is up for Shreepa Rockers, 50 in no time. 53 in just 4.2 overs without losing a wicket. What a start this has been for a champion team. Shreepa Rockers completely outplaying Pink Panthers in this platinum final. This time walked away on the onside. Plenty of open spaces for single. Lutnak Nayak, after hitting a boundary, rotates the strike. This is what the good batters do. Immediately after hitting a boundary, they just rotate the strike and gets at the other end. 39 of 19 deliveries for Loknath Nayak, whereas 14 of 8 deliveries for Ritish Reddy. All in all, Shreepa Rockers 54 without any loss in just 4.3 overs. 73 needed in 93. Well, Pink Panthers, they need a wicket, especially of Loknath. Ritish looking to reverse sweep on that occasion, but that ball never arrived. Slow through the air and it was banged halfway down. So no pace to work with for Ritish Reddy. That's a very smart piece of bowling from Aditya NK. He saw the batter moving early, hence slowed all the hence takes all the pace off and bowls it very slow. Well, that's a very good shot from Ritish Kumar. This time he gets it out of the circle and it's a boundary. Gets it in between gully and back foot point for a boundary. Score moves to 58 now. That's a welcome boundary for Ritish. He moves to 18. Both the batters just batting aggressively, trying to get Pink Panther out of this match as early as possible. Batting with an intent, batting positively, hunting for boundaries in the power play. Punched off the back foot. It will only be a single down to long off. This has been feature for these two. After getting boundary, they have rotated the strike. 11 runs coming off that one at the 5 over mark. Shreepa Rockers 59 for the loss of none. Another introduction in the bowling attack. Now Ashwatar, more spin. Ashwat to ball the final over of the power play. Leg spinner against the left-hander. It's a very interesting matchup. Well, Ritish cuts it down to third man for a single. 311 matches for Ashwatar. 379 wickets. Economy just over 7. 7.03. Best figures of 6 for 13 for Ashwatar. He is a very good operator, very smart operator. Usually balls after the power play, but now he's got a job in hand. Bowling in the power play against Loknath Nayak, who's batting very aggressively. He's got his eye in. That's very full. On the pads, Loknath swings, but just finds the fielder in the square leg. And each here and there would have been boundary for Loknath, but if he might be feeling he's missed out on a scoring opportunity there. This time he goes straight. There's a fielder and he takes it. What a catch that was. Pranav there in the deep takes an absolute blinder. Loknath Nayak hits it flat, hits it hard, but this time doesn't get the desired distance. What a catch that was. It took a special effort to dismiss a good batter. First wicket down for Shreepa Rockerz. Loknath Nayak played well for his 39 but now has to walk back. Rockerz 60 for the loss of 1 after 5.3. Ashwath R with the wicket. Varun Vinod, the wicketkeeper batter, in at number 3, gets off the mark with a very quick single. Played with the soft hands and through. Varun Vinod, in at number 3, 207 matches for him, 6,178 runs, averaging 43.51. Strike rate very healthy, 134.51 for Varun Vinod. This is the last over of the power play. Ashwath only concedes 2 runs and picks a wicket so far. Well, that's a very good shot from Ritish Reddy. No fielder had to move an inch. That was short and wide, and Ritish Reddy cuts it beautifully between point and gully for a boundary. Well, he moves to 24 of just 13 deliveries. Strike rate just under 200. Well, he's batting all right. He's not hitting those big shots, he's not hitting it in the air, but he's playing delicately. He's finding the gap at ease, at will. Ritish Reddy, a totally opposite to what Loknath Nayak was playing. Very full delivery, looking for that cover drive, looking to go over the inner circle. Well, he misses, so does the wicketkeeper. That's a valiant save in the fine leg region. That's been given as Y. So 2 runs for Shreepa Rockerz to close out the over. After the end of power play, Shreepa Rockerz are 67 for the loss of 1. This is where they end, 67 for 1. A better power play comparatively, more 60 needed in 84 deliveries. So Shreepa Rockers have ample of time to get there, but at the moment they are batting very aggressively, super aggressively. 67 after 6 overs. Aditya NK will continue. Ashwath will continue. 1.1 over, 7 for 1 for Ashwath. He's got a big wicket of Loknath Nayak. Well, Pink Panther will be expecting more out of him. They want him to take wickets on regular intervals just to put pressure on the batting lineup. Played with the soft hands Varun Vinod down to fine leg for a single, just allowing the ball to come at him. These two looks in no hurry at the moment after the power play. They're just looking to do it. They're just looking to do it in terms of singles. Now 50 required of 76. Required rate under 4. 3.95. Pink Panthers need to close in and stop those singles, and these kind of wide deliveries will not help the tally as well. They need to get close in and stop those singles and put some pressures. At the moment, field is very well spread out, so singles are on offered. Ritish goes over extra cover, inside out, and it's a boundary. What a shot that was! Slightly over pitch from Ashwath, and Ritish just accents his shot and lifts it over extra cover. No chance for the sweeper cover fielder to cut that one off. That's a boundary. Very well played. That's a very classy shot from Ritish Reddy. Shreepa Rockerz moves to 82 with that shot. Once again goes over extra cover. This time the ball doesn't have enough legs to go all the way. Rehan there in the deep does well. Keeps the batter to 1. They've got 8 runs in this over without taking any sort of risk. Still 2 deliveries remaining. This is an excellent stuff from Shreepa Rockers. At the moment, they are milking runs with ease. They're taking a very calculated risk. Well, that was a wrong one, gone wrong from Ashwath R's hand. He started off down the leg and spinned further away from the wicketkeeper. Can't blame the wicketkeeper. It's just a poor execution of the wrong one from Ashwath. Wide plus 2, 3 extras for Shreepa Rockers. At the moment, they are cruising. They've almost got their hand on a trophy. Cut away off the back foot. There is a fielder behind. He fumbles. Well, they're coming back for the second. They're taking one for throw. This is excellent piece of running between the wicket. Between these two, they're seizing on every opportunity that is presented to score runs. Delivery remaining in this over. They only need 39 more from here on. They have 73 deliveries to get there. So last ball of the over. Shot pulled away. There's a fielder behind who collects the ball on a bounce. So it's only a single to close out the over. A very expensive over from Ashwath. 14 runs coming off that one after 8 overs. Shreepa Rockers are 89 for the loss of 1. 38 needed in 72 deliveries at the required rate of 3.17. Well, that's hit hard, hit straight. Beautiful save that from Ritvik. That ball was traveling, but he did exceedingly well. Stopped that one with his very foot. Srivatsan into the attack. Right arm leg break. Srivatsan into the attack. He'll be bowling over the wicket for the left-hander as well. He's a very experienced bowler. Bowls well after the power play, but at the moment he has completely different job in hand. This time played with the soft hand. They'll look for two. Will they come back? Yes, they're coming back for the second, and in the end they'll get it with ease. This is brilliant piece of running between the wicket between these two. Ritesh Reddy is all about class. Just nudges one on the onside and through for a single, and then gets back for the second run as well. This time comes down the track looking for the big shot, gets nowhere out of the middle. The connection was so bad that it doesn't even carry to the deep fielder as well, who collects it on a bounce. It's only a single. 161 matches for Srivatsan VR, 201 wickets. Economy very good, 6.84. Best figures of 5 for 9 for Srivatsan VR. He's a very good operator with the field spread out. He gets in through his over very quickly as well. Shot punched away off the back foot. It's single down to long off. It's just that the batters don't have enough pressure at the moment. They are easily scoring singles and doubles. Against the run-up play, Srivatsan with a beauty gets rid of Ritesh Reddy. What a ball that was! Pitched on a very good length and then came in sharply. Well, Ritesh should have been playing off the front foot. Well, went back and that ball turned sharply and crashes into the middle stump. That's an absolute peach. Unplayable delivery from Srivatsan to get rid of Ritesh. New batter in is Jayasuriya. In at number 4 for Shreepa Rockerz, a very aggressive batter. In at number 4, 608 matches for Jayasuriya. He is a very experienced batter, 14,826 runs, averaging over 35. Strike rate 152.59 for Jayasuriya. He likes to get on with the boundaries. Last ball of the over, 5 runs and a wicket of Ritesh Reddy. Slip in play against Jayasuriya. Jayasuriya drives, will get a single, and he'll retain the strike and gets off the mark as well with that single. So 6 runs and a wicket coming off that one. A good over from Srivatsan VR. 95 for the loss of 2. Shreepa Rockers after 9 overs. Aditya NK will bowl the 10th over. This will be the last over from this end. So far 2 overs, 19 for none for Aditya NK. Well, a very attacking field for Aditya NK as well. He's got a slip in play against Jayasuriya. They're attacking against the new batter. That's the right thing to do. They need wickets. Wickets are only thing that can get them back into this match. Jayasuriya just walks at one on the onside of the back foot for a single. 31 needed in 65. Batters in no hurry at the moment. Varun Vinod. He's got to 13 of just 10 deliveries with ease. On the other hand, run a ball to Jayasuriya who's just walked in. Tossed up delivery, went for the big shot. There's a fielder behind. That ball doesn't carry to the deep fielder, so it will only be a single. That's a good shot from Varun Vinod. Just a check shot, I must say. Now strike is back with Jai Surya. He's a big hitter. He is a big hitter. Will Aditya NK toss it up against him? What are his options against this batter? Well, Jayasuriya comes down the track, gets to the pitch of the ball and hits it a very long way. Well, as I said, he is a big hitter. He winds up for the first time and hits it out of the park. 100 is up for Shreepa Rockerz. 100 in very good time. It just took them 9.3 overs to get 203. Aditya NK just sticking up with his length, but Jayasuriya there comes down the track and gets to the pitch. Hits it straight. Safest place to hit. Now 24 away from victory. Jayasuriya once again comes down the track. This time doesn't get it out of the middle. Well. Pranav there going for the catch. But that ball was never there. That was wide of him. In the end, he misses the ball as well. That goes for a boundary. Jayasuriya looking for back to back sixes. He survives a very close chance. Pranay, Pranav there, he could have easily stayed back and prevented that boundary, but he went for the catch. That's the right thing to do at this stage. A wicket here would uplift the spirits of Pink Panthers. Jayasuriya looking for another biggie. This time he'll be taken in the deep. Well. Jayasuriya departs for 12. What has happened there? He was looking for another biggie, looking to finish off things with a flurry, but he ends up in the hands of Ritwik in the deep, who makes no mistake. Well, third one bites the dust. Is there a twist and a tail? 107 for the loss of 3 now. Shreepa Rockerz. New batter in Sri Vishwa in at number 5 for Shreepa Rockerz. 302 matches for Shri Vishwa, 6,686 runs, averaging over 630. Strike rate 106. That's a good ball from Aditya NK first up. Sri Vishwas safely negotiates one. Two well runs and a big wicket of Jayasurya coming in that one over at the halfway mark in the chase. Well, Shreepa Rockerz right on the top. 107 for the loss of 3. They need another 20 to seal the deal and prevail as the winner in this Platinum Cup final. More fielders in the inner circle against Sri Vishwa. This good and positive approach from Pink Panthers. They're looking to attack. They're looking to attack the new batter, looking to put pressure on him. Played off the back foot, but straight to the point field where Ashwath there in the point, who does well. That's third dot on a trot. Good cricket this from Pink Panthers. The only way that they could have win this match is take wickets. So they are attacking. They've got slip in play and more fielders in the inner circle. In fact, they have got six against Sri Vishwa. That's a dot ball to close out the over. A good one. Only single coming off that one after 11 overs. Shreepa Rockerz 108 for the loss of 3. Huge appeal for leg before, but that was clearly drifting down the leg. Well, that was a poor delivery from Ashwath. He gets away with that one. Varun Vinod looking to sweep, gets missed. This time he cuts it off the back foot straight to the point fielder. That's a dot ball as well. Well, more pressure on the batters now. Good little passage of play for Pink Panthers. This time it will be a single down to long on. 18 needed of 51. Shreepa Rockers. They can take their time. They have plenty of time. They have 51 balls to get just 18 runs. So dots will not Well, that's a super sweep shot from Sri Vishwa. Well, the fielder there desperately tries to cut that one off, but it was well placed right in between deep mid wicket and back foot square leg for a boundary. What a shot that was! He was under third hump in the previous over, now gets in the boundary. Eh, that's a good option against Ashwath, but he's skiddy through the surface. You need to be mindful of that as well. That's a poor delivery from Ashwath. Well, that's full toss on the pads, and Sri Vishwa once again sweeps, but this time he gets it fine enough. No chance for the deep square leg fielder, even he doesn't have to move an inch. That's mile away from that fielder. Back to back boundaries for Sri Vishwa. Now Shreepa Rockerz 10 away from the victory. Well, what an a performance this has been from Shreepa Rockerz. First, they have bundled out Pink Panthers inside 20 overs. They have just restricted them to 126. In reply, a very fluent run for them. They have got 218 in just 12 overs. They need more 9 to win this contest. 10 runs coming off that one. An expensive over from Ashwath. After 12, 118 for the loss of 3. Shreepa Rockers 9 away from the victory now. Srivatsan will continue. His ball well. 2 overs, 7 for 1. His ball economically as well, and he's picked a wicket as well. He's picked a big wicket of Jaisurya in the previous over, but he has a task in hand. Defending 9 runs in 48 balls. I've never seen this happen before. Well, this time played with the soft hands. It will be a single down to square leg. As I said, these players are milking singles. They're getting singles at will. Once again plays with the soft hand and through for a single. Well, Pink Panthers need to have more fielders in the inner circle just to prevent those singles. Well, anyhow, they're losing, but at least they need to give themselves a chance to get a wicket by having fielders in the inner circle or 3/4. Just create that doubt in the batter's mind that he could have hit a boundary at the moment. Plays it off the front foot down to sweep a cover for a single. 7 away from victory now. 120 is up for Shreepa Rockers. 120 for the loss of 3. Ashwath changes his guard now coming around the wicket. In fact, it's Srivatsan Vihar who changes his guard, cutting around the wicket. He balls a full delivery and Sri Vishwa goes over mid on. That fielder was brought in for Sri Vishwa against Sri Vishwa, and he gets his knee down and gets the ball over that field. Just clear the infield. That's a boundary. Still the fielder inside the inner circle. This time swept away all along the carpet, straight down to deep mid wicket fielder for a single. Not 2 away from victory. They can do it in this ball itself. Varun Virod on strike. Will he finish it off? Shreepa Rockers 2 away from the victory. What a performance this has been. Well, he goes. Tried to goes over cover, but that was a very straightforward chance. Aditya NK there misses out. That's a very simple catch that goes down. That is how the things have panned out for. Well, Pranav back into the attack. He's been expensive. He's gone for 15 in his first over. Scores are level for Shreepa Rockers. They need only one to get over the line. on the pads, clipped away. They'll take that quick single and they'll get over the line. Well, what a emphatic way to get over the line. Well, they have completely outplayed Pink Panthers in this Platinum Cup final. We were expecting a very closely fought match, but it's just that Pink Panthers batter didn't show up today. It ends up in a one-sided encounter. Match summary: Pink Panthers winning the toss, opting to bat first. No real contribution with the bat. 22 for MS. Anirudh MS in 23 deliveries. Pranav chipped in for 15. Ritvik managed only 10. Vela departed for 15. Apart from that, 24 for Mahinder Reddy of 17 deliveries. Apart from that, no real contribution. They get bundled out for 126 in just 17.4 overs. In reply, Shreepa Rockerz fluently gets over the line in just 13.1 overs. They go over 127 for the loss of 3. Loknath Nayak played aggressively for his 39. Ritish Reddy played well for his 35. Vinod Varun chipped in for 19. Jaisurya with a cameo of 12. Sri Vishwa with a final touch of 15 of just 10 deliveries, and they get over the line with 7 wickets. Player of the match will be G. Ritish Reddy for his outstanding knock of 35 of 22 deliveries. 4.2 MVP points for Ritish Reddy makes him the player of the match. That's it from this match. Do catch us in the third final of the day. It's me Ali Hashmi for now, signing off from the coin box.